So guys, welcome back to the channel. Uh, okay, we've been a bit quiet, but there's a lot of things happening in the background. Some of the stuff I'll be discussing soon, but it's all good things that's happening, but it's just a lot happening at the moment. Anyway, back on to what's happening in the shop here quickly. We've got something different that's coming, and it's something that we're not used to working on and that we're not known for. We're known for the German cars or for your BMs, your E30s, and so on like that. This is a Ford Mustang. It's a GT. It's a Shelby GT350, and yes, it is one of the Shelby's built. So we've ran the one numbers. We are investigating further, but we're about 90% sure now that the vehicle is a Shelby vehicle. It is a left and right vehicle. It is registered in South Africa. The car has been restored, of which I must say that the work done on the car was a good job done. However, there's a couple of small things that we need to sort out on the vehicle, but overall it's a spectacular vehicle. So it's something different to drive. It's something different to get used to. I drove the car on Sunday. It's left-hand drive. There's a bonnet scoop here. There's gauges on the cluster. The rev counter is there. It's hard to get to drive the vehicle, but it's actually a nice vehicle to drive. It's a nice cruiser vehicle. So let's get into it now quickly, right? What we're going to concentrate a lot on here is your wiring on the vehicle. So we're going to tackle bumper to bumper wiring. Like for example, you've got headlights coming on, so the low beams both come on. Headlights stay on, but the high beam only goes on to the right hand side of the vehicle. Left hand side doesn't go on. So small things like that. Indicators don't work on that side. Speedo's not working properly. Gear linkage, the gears are but tight. So I want to try and adjust that, set that up properly, and get the gear indicator working as well, so we know which gear we're in. And just basically go through the electrical, clean up, neaten up, tuck in, and so on like that. So the work done on the car is good already. We're just fine tuning it and tucking it further in a way, right? Then we're going to move over to the suspension on the vehicle. So what was done on this vehicle is there was discs and calipers added to the rear, right? So normally this is a 64 model. So based in the 60s, 70s, those cars were still drum vehicles, some in the front as well. I'm not too sure if this came with discs in the front, but I would have assumed it would. But I know definitely it came with drums at the back. So they've converted it over. It looks like they're still using the 9-inch pump and diff, and they're using discs and calipers. They've gotten rid of the leaf springs on the vehicle, and they're using a coilover kit on it. So there's a lot of brackets that have been made up, but you can actually see that the geometry at the back was actually thought about. It wasn't just made up and put together. So you can see the guys welded in a certain way, they welded at certain angles, and it actually drives. The only problem I have with this vehicle is that they've got a link setup on here. So it looks like a 4-link setup, but the 4-link setup that they use is using rose joint bushes. So if you guys understand what a rose joint bush is, I'll insert a picture of it. If you guys can picture this here or you can see it, a rose joint bush is mainly used for your race cars and your track cars, right? That's more for adjustment purposes, angle purposes, and so on like that. On a street car, we don't need that. We need adjustment purposes, yes, but not the angle. And another thing is a rose joint bush doesn't use any rubber cushioning. So it doesn't use no polyurethane, Teflon, rubber, nothing in there. It's metal on metal. So what's happening is all the road vibrations, noise from the drivetrain, from the car, and everything is basically coming through the vehicle, right? So when you sit at the back, you can actually, the vehicle is a bit hard at the back. We've got a solution for it. I'm trying to either bring it into the country or find it locally, but we've got a solution to replace those rose joints. And I do believe that solution will quiet this car down tremendously and actually make it drive better. Another avenue that we'll be tackling is the steering of it. This car's got a very low, a very short turning angle on it. They have modified this car would have come with a steering box, not with the steering rack. They've modified it to use a steering rack. So it's using a German steering rack to it, of which we're not happy with. We are in the process of ordering a left-hand drive steering rack compatible for it, which should also be an upgrade. So there's a couple of things here and there that we need to sort out, right? But that's now basically to fine-tune this car and to get this car driving smooth where it becomes a nice December cruiser vehicle. So going back to the interior quickly and to the guy who restored this car, I'm not going to lie to you, the work done on this car was actually nice. From the carpet to the seats to your stitching to your gauges with uniformity, it's actually done very nice. We just want to get the car a bit quieter. There's a couple of rattles coming from the doors, from the back panels here, at the back here. So you'll hear there's rattles as you're driving it. I want to try and get that quieter, and I do believe that the car will be much smoother. Something else to talk about quickly here. This guy's actually got power steering and aircon. So it's a universal aircon aftermarket aircon product that they're using on here. I'm not too sure how it works. I'll figure it out and hopefully try and get the aircon working as well on the vehicle. Let's go through the vehicle quickly. This is a fine specimen of the workmanship carried out to whoever these guys were. I'm not too sure who built it, but really well done on it. There's a lot of detail put into the car. There's a lot of effort gone into this car. It's not just slapped together. But there is always room for improvement. So that's what we're going to try and do. Guys, let's go through it quickly. And yeah. Okay, so going through the vehicle, you can see the front of the vehicle is, for me, the front of the vehicle is missing two items. One item actually, which is the fog lights. So I'm trying to order that, which is going to be the GT500 Elno fog lights. Motor wise, it is a 350 in here. I'm not too sure exactly what has done to the motor. I do not have any information on it, but I'm hoping by the last episode that we'll try and get that figured out, and I'll be able to give you more info. But basically, you can see they've moved over to the electronic distributor. They're running a upgraded coil pack in there. Here's the power steering bracket. You can see that's done properly. The aircon pump put in there, that's done nicely. But just basically clean. So it's not like the German cars where we go electroplating as much as we can. If you look at the American cars that's built, it's built very simply. So, but the detail is in there. Let's move over to the engine bay. I mean to the interior quickly. So, two-seater, yes. This is how the back of the car actually looks. But look at the seats here. Something it's just simple. It's simple but uniform. So done properly. The gauges here. There's uniformity everywhere where you go. So again, the detail, there's not heavy detail into the vehicles, but it's done nicely. The carpet that they use is something, this is something really nice to use. So a lot of times you see a restored vehicle and they'll come through with speaker carpet and call that restored. If you look at the small details here, you can see that, okay, the lighting is bad. Yeah, but there's a stitch and a seam in that carpet there. You know, that small detail, that's what we'd look for. Then your gear shifter, I'm gonna try and just see what I can do here with this gear shifter and see if it can be adjusted. Look up here look at your visors, your sun visors. Look at the small detail that's gone into it with the stitch around it. So again, guys, there are some nice, clean, very good balls out there. I'm just gonna go through this vehicle just for all the rattles, just get that all seen too. But again, the stance on this vehicle is something else. This vehicle sits, you can see this has got muscle sit. It sits well, it looks well. All these small details here, all the vents coming out here, and they're all working. So it's not there just for show. They're all working. You can see the chrome bits that they got in here is superb. So let's do this here. Let's go through the vehicle. I'm gonna try and keep you updated as far as I can. And yeah. Okay guys, so this here is the end of the episode. I'll try and keep you guys updated throughout the work carried out on the vehicle. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. Do what you guys always do. I appreciate the feedback. Just an update quickly on the shop. The 333s, we're waiting for a lot of parts on them. But I will do updates on all the vehicles, on the ISs and so on like that. Stay tuned guys. There is a bit of changes going through everything. Stay tuned for that and I will keep you updated. Cheers guys.